This Raw Vision video is brought to you by Metro Solar, proud partner of the Richmond Football Club. G'day Tiger fans, welcome to Raw Vision, brought to you by Metro Solar, and this morning I'm joined by Nathan Foley, who's got some big news to announce, and it's a bit of a tough time, Foles, for you.
Yeah, it is, Richo. Unfortunately, it's time for me to hang up the boots, and look, I've been battling a degenerative knee now for quite some time, and unfortunately this year it's really it's all come to a head, probably on the back of a incident in the VFL. It really flared up, and as much as I've tried to get it going again over the past probably 3 or 4 months now, reality set in that it's just not going to turn, and yeah, I've sort of been really left with no other option.
So Foles, you obviously had to agonise over this decision for a while. Was there a point where it just was like, okay, I've got to make this decision now? Is that sort of how it came about?
Yeah, look, it was. Look, the reality is, it was going to be tough. Probably a long time ago. It was probably but the physios and docs and the club were really respectful and gave me every opportunity to get back, and also Lukey Mean, our rehab coach, has been a great support, and they, yeah, like I said, they gave me every opportunity, and the writing was probably on the wall a little bit ago, but it was important for me to, you know,
come to the realisation.
Yeah, come to the realisation, and just knowing that, you know, I suppose not die wondering, and it's to be honest, on the back of a very small running session last week, it pulled up horrendous yet again, and it was probably it's probably in my own mind, I knew that was probably it.
Well, Foles, when you announce your retirement, you've got to tell your teammates, and I believe you've just done that this morning. It's always pretty tough.
Oh yeah, it was hard. It's you know, I've been at the club for probably 12 years now, and it's been a huge part of my life, and I think getting up to talk to your teammates, the blokes that you become so close with, and especially the older blokes that have been there for so long, is it's a really, really tough moment, and it's also, you know, it sort of makes it very final as well, and it's never easy.
Bit of a weight off your shoulders though when you finally make the decision.
Yeah, I think it will be. I mean, it's all happened pretty quickly, I suppose, in some ways in the last few days, the decision to go ahead, and yeah, it's I think in the next couple of days it'll sort of be a nice weight off the shoulders, and can sit back and reflect on my career and all the good times that I've had.
Foles, you probably the last couple of years you have had to battle a number of injuries. Do you want to just tell us about those, a few of the injuries you've had to try and work your way through?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it has been a real battle the last few years, and you know, probably deep down for me too, it's probably something I'm pretty proud of, the way I've been able to, you know, put up with a few injuries, and you know, get the most out of myself, I suppose. And obviously I ruptured my Achilles in 2012, and that was a significant injury, and took a lot of rehab to get back, and I did lose a lot of calf strength during that, and which is, you know, a natural sort of thing from those sort of injuries. But and funnily enough, after I had tendon issues prior to that, and as soon as I ruptured it, that became pain-free. But around that time, I sort of had this degenerative knee bubbling away, and
you've had that since you were 19, basically, the knee.
Oh look, it stems from an injury when I was 19. I was lucky in some ways. The physios say that I didn't have significant symptoms for a very long time, and it was only recently that did become you know, an issue and something I really had to manage, and yeah, so that's taken a lot of work to get through, and ultimately it's finished me up.
Well, Foles, you've had a great career. You started on a rookie list, and you played for Victoria. You've finished high up in B&Fs. You've made an All-Australian squad. Give us some of your highlights, and when you look back at that off a rookie list, you've achieved an awful lot.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you have, and yeah, it's been a great journey, and you know, in some ways you say it goes quick, and then at other times you think of who I was as an 18-year-old when I got rookied, and you know, life's changed an enormous amount, and I wouldn't change any of it. It's been such an amazing journey. I've just got to meet some incredible people, and there's been some real highlights along the way, and yeah, the Australia and representing Victoria, and also it was huge to get to play my first final last year. It was you know, especially now the way things have panned out, that's something I look back really fondly on. But it's funny, like we obviously went through a couple of years that weren't so successful, and you even just have flashbacks to games where, you know, you're the underdog and you've come out and won on a Friday night and those sort of things, and just some really enjoyable experiences.
Well, Foles, having played with you, you're one of the most professional players I reckon I played with. You really prided yourself on your professionalism, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Look, at coming off a rookie list and those sort of things, I learnt that from a pretty young age, that was what was required of me to make it, and I did. I prided myself on that was the way I was going to go about things, and yeah, it's something I can probably look back pretty proud of, the way I always went about it.
Your first game was back in the game when Nathan Brown broke his leg.
Yeah,
the Tigers were going along pretty nicely at that stage. Not a great memory of your first game.
Nah, it wasn't. It was yeah, it was a terrible night that for Paul Brownie, and we got rolled, and yeah, it wasn't a great feeling in the rooms afterwards, and yeah, everyone just felt so much for Brownie, and yeah, it was a strange debut, to be honest.
Foles, you played with some good players, and particularly now some great players coming through. Who were some of the better players that you played with?
It's quite a loaded question, is it?
It's not a loaded question.
Oh, well, obviously yourself, Rick. It was,
oh, don't be silly.
Yeah,
but there's some good players there.
There is. Yeah, no, obviously yourself, and you've mentioned Nathan Brown. He was, oh, you know, he was extraordinary.
Guys like Kane Johnson, you would have learned a lot off him.
Sugar, I've learned a lot of Sugar, especially while he was captain. Wayne Campbell, I spent a couple of years with, of the current crop. You know, Chris Newman's done so much for this club, and Breddy's, you know, been an unbelievable player, and he's got so much upside still. He seems to, you know, just keep on improving, especially playing half forward now. And Kochi obviously is, you know, won 3 BNF, so. Got to play a couple of years with Cuz too, which was a great experience. And
did you learn a bit off Ben?
Yeah, I did. I mean, he came across from an incredible midfield with you know, Kerr and Judd and these sort of guys. So yeah, that was a great experience to learn a lot off him as well.
Well, Foles, life's ahead of you now. What's the next chapter? Are you going to stay involved in footy, or are you just going to sit back and make your decisions as you go?
Yeah, I'm probably going to sit back a little bit, Rick. I'm not exactly sure. It's I haven't. Well, I've thought about it a little bit. I'll probably change my mind quite regularly about what I'm going to do. So I'll decide that in the next few weeks or the next few months. I mean, there's not really a rush at this stage, so we'll let that come to me as it does.
How do you want to be remembered at Tigerland?
Oh, no, it's a tough question. I suppose. Remembered as a team man is important to me, and also that stuff we just mentioned earlier, you know, sort of professional and someone that, you know, gave everything for the club.
Well, you're absolutely going to be remembered that way, Foles, no doubt. What about some of the current crop of young players coming through? Who are the Tiger fans, who can they look forward to watching? Yeah,
it's an exciting time, and I think it's surprising how few game miles he's played. You know, he's playing exceptional footy, and so especially I'm probably also an inside mid, so I really enjoy watching him. Kane Lambert's come on really well this year, and for someone that's also probably only played 5 or 6 games is showing quite a lot. Corey Ellis is another one that's going to be a good player. He's been a little bit injury interrupted this year, but we've seen up close the sort of the class he's going to have, and yeah, there's certainly some young blokes coming through, which is going to make some really exciting times coming up in the next few years.
Foles, we're sitting in this nice brand new gym here. The club changed a bit from the start of your career to the finish.
Oh, it is. It's amazing how much it's changed. I got to the club at the end of 2003, and we're in the old facility, and
Possums in there doing weights with us.
Yeah, I know. It was. I think by the end, once we knew we were moving over here, we didn't spend too much money on the maintenance of the old place. So by the end, it was. It was a bit rough. But in saying that, you don't know any different, and I really enjoyed my time over there. But to come over here is just another experience, and it just makes you feel more professional, and it just shows where the club's at and how elite it's becoming, not only on the field but also off the field.
Foles, you're from Colac, you've got a baby on the way, about 10 weeks to go. You're not going to head down to Colac and retire, are you?
No, I don't think so, Rick. If you asked me, 10 years ago, I might have said I might have headed back, but Melbourne has probably become my home, and I love getting back to Colac, and a lot of mates still down there, and my parents are still down there, so love getting home and always will, but I'll probably settle more in Melbourne now, I think.
Foles, thanks for your time. Congratulations on a fantastic career. You definitely got the best out of yourself. Very professional player. Thanks a lot and good luck.
Thanks, Rick.